Welcome to AkiAndFam's How to Iatros guide. My goal with this series is to keep these guides short and to the point. So let's get started. First of all, you'll be breaking your fire team into 3 separate teams. You'll have a building team of 3, a jump king of 1, and your last 2 are Chronon hunters that find Chronons to dunk into the hoop. The rally banner is on a platform above the boss. Take a look at where the boss is, then look to your left. You'll see a platform that is red in color, and in between where you spawn in and that area is a hoop that will usually be red above a Vex hourglass. So the 3 platforms are the areas where you're going to be doing DPS, and each of these areas has a plate that gives a buff to the Jump King, but the other team members should be aware where these plates are to not accidentally get the buff by walking across it or even passing over it. It has kind of a high vertical cylinder. The encounter starts once you get close enough to the boss. Multiple Minotaurs called Time's Burden will spawn in and drop Chronons when killed. The color of the Chronon will determine where the Jump King needs to be and where DPS will take place. Blue Chronons are on the platform the boss spawns in. White Chronons are the area up by the rally flag or spawn area. Red Chronons are on the red platform to the left of where you spawn in. Once you've filled the hourglass with Chronons, you'll see a diamond underneath that you can shoot. At this point, the totem players should take their positions and the Jump King should confirm all 3 are ready. This next mechanic is, in my opinion, the hardest part of the entire raid. When everyone is ready, the Jump King will shoot the diamond and everyone will see a buff at the top of their screen called Diastole with 4 boxes. These boxes will fill and play an audio cue. On the 4th audio chime, each of the totem players will shoot the bottom Vex cube in their totem. The tricky part is, on that 4th beat, there will be a small Vex pulse that triggers on all players. It lightly damages them and gently boops them into the air. Now, players can bunny hop to be off the ground to prevent the boop from disrupting their aim when shooting at totems. All 3 totem players must hit their box on the cue to successfully execute the mechanic. If players are too early or too late, the mechanic will fail and a message "Chronons dissipate with instability" appears. This means that Chronons simply drain out of the hourglass. If the hourglass goes completely empty, a white mechanic will start that will not stop until more Chronons are deposited. The hardest part of this is getting your totem players in sync to shoot the totems. What we found is the best thing to do is to make sure everyone agrees on shooting on the 4th chime, and then letting people listen to the in-game audio cue. There's also a visual indicator at the top of the screen for individuals who are hard of hearing. If all 3 players shoot at the same time, the message "Iatros loses control of phase space" will appear, and platforms will show up above the Jump King for them to climb. The Jump King should climb up until they see a Vex sugar cube and interact with it. The prompt reads, "Activate." If the Jump King does not have a temporality buff, they will not be able to interact with the Vex sugar cube. They will need to go back down to get it on the plate wherever the platforms are being built. Now here's the annoying part for the Jump King. There are 3 Vex imp swarms that will notice you shortly after you climb up and begin to shoot. If you're fast enough, you can activate it before they start firing. I highly recommend the Jump King brings along a grenade launcher with disorienting grenades to blind those enemies while you're climbing, because even if you kill them, they just respawn. Yes, infinitely. Yes, that sucks. Once the Jump King has interacted with the Vex sugar cube, they should say they're ready for the next 4 count, and the totem players should then shoot the middle box. The Jump King will jump again, activate the Vex sugar cube, and then call for the totem team to shoot the 3rd box. At each point, Vex imp swarms will constantly be there. Just use whatever you need to buy time, because if the totem players miss, you're stuck there until they successfully build the next set of platforms. Also keep in mind, every time they successfully build the next set of platforms, you need to jump because the platform underneath you is disappearing and you have to get to the next one. You can kind of see them up in the air. They're like these weird symbols and there's like some lines pointing towards it. When the Jump King makes it to the top and interacts with the babe, I mean the Vex sugar cube, message "Radiolarian immunocytes awaken" will appear. That's the cue for everyone to collapse on the platform the Jump King was climbing from for DPS. And before I get into DPS strats, let's talk briefly about your Chronon hunting team. Generally speaking, your Minotaurs are going to spawn in whatever area the boss is walking towards. The boss will wander between all 3 totem areas during the Jump King phase, so people responsible for totems should be communicating with the Chronon Hunter team if they see Minotaurs. Occasionally, the boss will turn around and head a different direction. If the boss does that, the Minotaurs will despawn. Trust your hunters to come and get the Minotaurs, because the totem team should also be killing Harpies when they're not preparing to shoot their Vex boxes. Those adds will also generally target the Jump King. Shortly after the Jump King interacts with the final Vex Sugar Cube, the boss will teleport to the platforms he was ascending from. All players should collapse into this area. If you have a well, use it. Players can use any weapons they want. Thunderlord works well here, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, Outbreak perfected with rewind wounds. If you can have someone on tractor cannon, that helps tremendously. During the DPS phase, the Diastole mechanic will still be going. Remember, you can bunny hop if you don't like getting booped. You can just be off the ground when that 4th count hits. Whatever you want to do, it's totally up to your fire team. Just keep in mind that's going to be happening the entire time you're DPSing, unless the white mechanic starts, in which case, if your hunters have Chronons, they should run and dunk them. Iatros does not have a ton of health, but the climbing mechanic difficulty amps the encounter challenge level to make this be the last one I recommend before you take on Koregos, the final boss. I'm new to making guides like this, so hey, let me know if you like these individual encounter guides or if in the future you'd like a whole raid guide put together and released all at once. I've got a playlist that contains each encounter linked in the description below. Please check it out. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment and let me know, as well as doing a thumbs up. And if you enjoy content that involves the whole family in Destiny and more, please subscribe. Catch you next time.